I've been a creator for 4 years, but in the last year, I have grown over 200,000 followers across my social media platforms. I've been paid to go to different brand trips. I've been paid to attend different events. I've been invited to some of the most exclusive events that have happened in the creator industry. And in this video, I'm going to tell you about what I would do if I were starting from zero and building a travel creator business. So if you are brand new here, hi, my name is India. I used to be a biomedical engineer and I actually have a PhD in the topic, but actually I don't use any of that in my travel creator business. And instead I use a lot of creative processes and structures that I'm going to talk about in this video that have really helped me grow my social media profiles and get me to where I am and working with brands and having a thriving business. So the first thing that I see a lot of new creators not doing is they do not provide value and a unique perspective to the content industry or to the travel industry specifically. So what a lot of people will do is they will see a creator going viral for a certain topic and they will try to recreate that video. And the reason why that is not a great strategy to do is because you are going to be relying on other people's viral videos to guide your social media. And also because the idea has already been done before, people have already seen it. So they're not interested in seeing you recreate it. Instead, they want to see something brand new and something different. And the reason why I combine that with providing value is because people will just recreate these viral videos, but they don't actually have any value to it. And by that, I mean, the viewer does not actually get anything from watching your content. So we don't care about your cute backgrounds or your aesthetic landscape videos or anything that is like a thirst trap. It doesn't matter. People may like those types of videos every now and again. However, it isn't what's going to get you to the paid brand deals, to getting monetized, to really having a flourishing business online. That is not a long-term strategy at all. So instead, I always tell people to provide value in their content. Give people a reason to want to follow you, right? Like, what are they learning from you? What are they taking away? Do they become smarter, hotter, sexier, more advanced? Like, what is it that they are learning from your content? And provide that unique perspective from you for them. If you are not providing them any value, any reason to save the video or share the video in their group chat or tag their friends in it, it's because it's not a good piece of content. And a lot of people say like, oh, I'm creating great content and no one's seeing it. A lot of times it's not a great video because as a viewer, you don't get to learn anything new for yourself. So what people will typically do is they'll make a video and say like, oh, this is what I did in Bali, for example. But what viewers actually want to take away is this is what you can do in Bali and how I would rate it as someone who just did it recently. So you have to reframe your videos to benefit the viewer. Tell them directly, this is what you will learn from it, or this is what I can teach you. This is how you will benefit from this video. A lot of creators just simply do not do that, and that's why their content flops. No matter how pretty the video is, no matter how new the camera is that you use, no matter how much time you spend editing on that video, if other people are not taking anything away from your content, if they're not getting smarter, hotter, sexier, more attractive, whatever it is, they are not going to want to follow you. So every single piece of content has to cater to your audience, the people who you want to reach, so that they will want to interact with your content. They will want to save it. They will want to share it. They will want to, comment on it and thank you for giving them such great tips. That is what is going to allow you to actually grow a dedicated and engaged following. The next thing that I would do if I were starting from zero is to use my analytics to guide my future posts. Now, what a lot of creators will do, and I was definitely a victim to this too, is I would just get video ideas and I would put them out and I would, do that to be consistent. And although I was consistent, although I did post a lot of videos and I learned how to create valuable videos and valuable quality content through all those repetitions, the easier way for me to do it would be just to look at my analytics, see what's performing, and recreate content that is similar to it with a little bit of a twist or a little bit of a spin. So what a lot of people do is they ignore their analytics entirely. They have no idea how to read them. They have no idea what the analytics even mean. They probably don't even look at them. And if they do, then they just check to see how many followers they've grown, and that's all that they do with their analytics. But your analytics on every single platform are going to be super, super helpful for you to understand what type of content your audience even wants from you. What do they want to see from you? What do they like from you? What types of videos get people to want to follow you? I talk about this on my channel already, but there are so many ways that you can use your analytics to really help guide future videos and future ideas so that one, you don't burn out, and two, you're always consistent because you have another idea that you can make out of a video that that you posted before. A lot of times your audience will decide what types of videos they want from you. So even if you love making vlogs, sometimes the audience just wants to see you talk about, your story time from when you went traveling or backpacking through Europe. Like, those are the types of decisions that you're going to be making when you start to look at your analytics and really analyze what is working for you, whether it be your channel, your Instagram, your TikTok. They all revolve around analytics, and you have to start analyzing them and looking at them regularly to decide what type of content to create in the future. Another thing that newer creators will do is they will have, one video go viral and they'll try to redo that over and over and over and over again when the algorithm just doesn't like it at all. So there is a balance between your audience liking you for certain types of content and your audience getting tired of seeing the same thing from you and wanting something refreshed. So if you recognize that, last month you had transition videos that went really, really well for you, people really liked them, but then now, you're doing transition videos and they're not working, well, guess what? Transition videos is not your thing anymore, and you got to start doing something new and pivoting to create something that is similar to a transition video and maybe still within that travel niche or within that topic or whatever the sub niche that you were talking about. Speaking of niches, a lot of new creators will not want to niche down because they're like, I want to be a lifestyle creator. I want to follow this person who's already doing this thing. That person's already doing that thing. They're already successful at it. So people want something different to follow. They want something that's totally separate and opposite of what it is that you already see people blowing up for. So if you were trying to recreate your favorite lifestyle creator and it's not working, it's because people already see that lifestyle creator and they want someone that's totally different. So trying to be someone else in this lifestyle, like super broad niche, is not necessarily the way to grow if you want to grow quickly. If you are looking to gain a following, people are going to want to follow you for a specific topic within a specific niche, and not just travel as an umbrella, but something that is really specific. So maybe you do solo camping videos. That is something that is really specific that falls underneath the topic of travel. But unless you have a sub niche, people are like, okay, I can follow someone else for the same travel topics, even though this person has travel and they gave me that one really great tip that one time, right? People want to see the same type of content from you. But if that same type of content is not working, sometimes you got to switch it up and you have to pivot to doing something that is still within your niche and similar, but different from what you were previously doing. Now, and when it comes to monetization and starting to work with brands, working with other creators and collaborating with people in general, one of the things that I would do if I were starting from the beginning is I would use my analytics to show brands and companies that I am converting my followers into buyers. A lot of people simply don't get brand deals because they don't know how to illustrate that their followers can be customers for the brand. And this goes back to reading your analytics, right? And using different posts to show the brands that you are converting your followers into buyers and that you can do it for a variety of brands, not just one specific brand that you're working with. So a great example of this are creators who make, different videos about hotels, for example. So they will talk about what to do at a hotel. They'll talk about why they like to stay there, the different amenities, what their experience was like, and they'll give people information about the hotel, but they have no way to actually track if people are using their recommendation, if people are actually booking that hotel, if people are, using what they are saying in that video in the future. The reason why it then becomes difficult for them to get contracts with hotels or contracts with just travel related brands is because they don't have any actual data to show that people do listen to their recommendations, even if it's a viral video. Because if you've been in the creator industry for a while, then you can recognize that having a viral video doesn't mean that you're all of a sudden making hundreds of thousands of dollars. You have to know how to use that viral video to your advantage in learning how to communicate and negotiate with brands for different brand deals and open yourself up for monetization opportunities. Now, I talk about monetization on my channel all of the time and all the different ways that creators will monetize, especially when they're making over $100,000 a year. But what it boils down to is really knowing how to advocate for yourself and, again, use your analytics to be able to tell brands that my content is great, it has great engagement, and people are following me for it. And people also are interested in buying. They're also actually buying. This is how much revenue I've generated from, these types of posts. These are the products that my audience members are the most interested in. And I know this based on the data that I have on my profile. Like, I know my conversion rate. I know how often people will engage with the specific types of content, throughout the year or through certain seasons of the year. You have to really know how to use your analytics to then advocate for yourself with brands and show them that you are are a creator that is generating revenue for the brand. So a few years ago, and then this is probably like 2020 2021, a lot of brands would see creators with followers and they would, pay them for different sponsored ads. Now, it's not necessarily the case now because a lot of brands are becoming more smart with the different creators that they hire, because they want to hire creators that are going to give them a return on their investment. So if you are someone that is not showing that you can provide that return on their investment, the investment being them paying you for that sponsored ad, then you are not going to be useful for the brand, right? They're not going to want to hire you because they don't see numerically or any type of statistics or analytics that you can show them to be like, hey, I actually am converting my audience into buyers. Another thing that is really helpful for creators that are monetizing or just beginning to monetize that I also did not do when I first started was tracking their brand deals and partnerships based on where you were at that point in time. So if you start, in January and then you get your first brand deal in June, you should be tracking how many followers you had, what was your growth rate, what was your engagement at the time, what was the rate that you were paid, what were the deliverables that you had to provide for the brand, and using that to be able to track your rates and set your rates for the future, because you're only going to stay at the same place if you keep charging the same rate for every single brand deal that you do. So if you work with a brand in June and then that brand comes back to you in December and you've grown, 20,000 followers, right? That brand should be paying for the growth of your platform and also for the analytic changes, right? So even if you maintain or have a slightly lower engagement rate, you should still be charging more for the brand and charging for your worth because your platform has grown over that 6-month period. What I didn't do when I first started was I didn't track the growth over time, and I wasn't really able to provide newer rates at the time because I didn't know where I'd started. Like, I knew how much they paid me, I knew what the deliverables were, but I didn't know where I was as a creator at that time that I actually did the brand deal. So now I have a whole finance sheet where I track, my finances every single month, every quarter, and also the brand deals, where my analytics are throughout those brand deals. And that allows me to be able to track my income over time and see how I'm growing as a creator over time as well. Because if you are someone that really wants to grow 100,000 followers in a year or even more, you have to be able to track your brand deals and track your growth over time to be able to, again, advocate for yourself with brands when you are negotiating a higher contract, for the second or third time around with working with the same brand. The next thing that I did not do early on, which I so wish I had started to do, oh my gosh, I'm like so mad that I didn't do this, and that was not going to seminars or workshops with other creators to learn from people that were more advanced than I was. So when I first started creating content, I was a biomedical engineer. I worked in a lab and I had a really crazy schedule. I was working well over 40 hours a week and I was in the lab at different times. I was working 6, sometimes 7 days a week. It was absolutely insane. And the time that I had off, I would spend editing my content, posting my content, coming up with content ideas, and engaging with my audience. But it would have been so much more helpful if I could have just gone to a seminar or a workshop, even if it were virtually, to help me understand how to create and grow my platform even faster, or grow my business even faster and with a long-term trajectory, because everything that I learned on my own from doing on my own and from learning from my own mistakes. So even though I was learning from my own mishaps and failures, I would have condensed that time so much if I would have just gone to workshops and seminars that were being hosted virtually. So at the time I did live in Delaware, but now I live in Los Angeles, and there are so many creator workshops all the time. I mean, it's at a point where I wanted to find one, I could probably find one every single day. However, if you're someone that isn't living in a major city, you can still find things that are online. So platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube actually do host their own seminars for creators and for creators to learn. So you can attend those virtually, which a lot of people are like, oh, I don't have time, or I'd rather do it in person. If you can't attend it in person, you should still attend it virtually. There's so many times where I have rewatched seminars just in my bed and learning from other creators, where a lot of people refuse to rewatch Zoom meetings or rewatch virtual seminars, but those are really helpful and they're still a way for you to gain all the information that you need and that is relevant to you at that time. So learning from other creators and not necessarily reaching out to them via DMs, because people typically don't have time to help you individually. But going to those seminars and those workshops where they're already dedicating their time out of their schedule to help people like you to grow your own platforms, that is something that you can do, and you can do it again from the comfort of your own bed. And one of the things I was really hesitant to do was to take courses from other creators because I didn't really know what I was going to be getting. But anytime I've taken a course, it has been super, super helpful for me to learn from those people because, again, it's something that I'm investing in and I know I'm going to get a return out of it. And I know that that creator is where I want to be. Like, if they are standing where I want to be right now, then it makes total sense for me to get their course and learn from them directly because they have the means and they know what it is that I should be learning. So in the beginning, I did shy away from taking people's courses, but now I love taking them. And anyone that I find that is doing exactly what I want to do, I will look to see if they have a course because I'm like, I want to take it to be able to learn it, to increase my business and also increase my revenue, as a creator and as a business owner. And then the next thing I would do, and this goes back to the type of content that I was creating, and that is not focusing on the fancy editing, but instead focusing on providing consistent quality content and also consistently delivering value. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because when people first start out, they're like, I need to be consistent. I'm going to post anything. It doesn't matter what I post. And although that is a way for you to become more consistent, and isn't really a way for you to grow a platform, people who want to follow you. And the reason why I say that is because just because you post a video doesn't mean you're going to get followers and doesn't mean you're going to get engagement. And if anything, it can kind of hurt your platform because you're just posting for the sake of posting instead of thinking about providing quality and providing value to your audience. Again, value is so important because if people are not learning from you, becoming hotter, becoming sexier, becoming richer, becoming inspired, they're not going to want to engage with your content. It is not about you. It is about your audience. It's about the person on the other side of the camera or the phone. So if you are not consistently providing value, then people are not going to want to follow you. They're not going to want to engage with you. They're not going to want to comment, on your videos. However, consistency is also really, really important because if you only post once a week on TikTok, right? That's just not enough content for you to be able to engage with your audience on a regular basis. It's more of a fast-paced platform, whereas one time a week on YouTube is actually very reasonable. However, if you miss that week, right, people are still going to be looking for you. They still want to have your content. So you have to choose the platform that works with you. If you're just starting out, like from zero, you don't know anything about any platforms, choose a platform that is for you, whether it be a slow-paced platform like YouTube or a faster-paced platform like TikTok. I wouldn't spend a lot of time trying to do the fancy quick edits and fast edits and using special effects, but instead I would really focus on understanding what type of content my audience likes from me and how I can consistently post valuable content for my viewers and also have that content be quality, not just throwing up something because you know that you need to upload something and it's Sunday and your upload day is Monday nights. That's not what you're going to do. Instead, you're going to focus on what is it that my audience likes, how can I do this, and how can I make this sustainable. A lot of creators will burn out in the beginning because they have no idea where to start, what to do, what to focus on. They don't have any ideas. They don't have any organization for how to create content consistently. And they're trying to focus on multiple platforms all at the same time, which is the worst way to go because you're going to end up burning yourself out before you actually see any progress on your platform. So if you are someone who has no idea how to create a content plan, you don't really know what to expect from each platform, and you don't really know how to create consistent content ideas and edit those ideas in a quick manner that is reasonable for your current lifestyle, I have a creator course that is linked in my bio for beginners like you that has all the details that I have really used to grow my platform from 0 to 100,000 followers in less than 1 year. It is completely and totally possible for you to be able to do it. However, you need to have a strategy that you can implement, especially if you're working a 9 to 5, because balancing a content creation career and your full-time 9 to 5 gig is really difficult. I know myself because I did it myself. But if I would have had all the tips and details of how to really create content to grow my platform and also work with brands and monetize in that platform for a long-term career, then I would have been able to transition from my 9 to 5 to full-time content creation much sooner than I had. So if you're interested in that course, it is going to be linked in the description box. And if you guys like the information in this video, let me know by giving it a thumbs up and subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.